Good morning, good morning. The unfolding saga continues on this 14th day of January 2013. And the title that I've selected for this morning is Foreclosing on the Unlawful Cabal's Matrix of Control. Even as I write this, things are happening of momentous importance in the shift of the ages from darkness and ignorance to light and awareness. In fact, it has been steadily progressing for a good while as the plan for the liberation of humanity unfolds step by paradigm-shattering step. The public trusts and other mechanisms of the law of one are being revealed on many fronts. The One People's Public Trust by Heather Ann and Friends is one such step. Foreclosure on the corporations that have usurped the rights of humanity. David-Wynn Miller and his teachings on par-syntax grammar is yet another way-shower in this process of unraveling the matrix and liberating the people. I expect these and other revelations to totally shatter the illusion of control as we progress in 2013. Indeed. Let me just say that I did better on my sleep last night. I did get probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 4 hours, which for me is much better than it had been in the recent couple of nights. This past weekend was a weekend of music for me, and I was involved Friday night, Saturday night, and yesterday afternoon into the evening of listening to music, and I've been up now for over an hour here, but I did get to bed earlier last night than I had the previous two, so I managed a little bit more rest, which is appreciated, you better believe. But yesterday I was introduced to David-Wynn Miller for the first time, although people might have sent me stuff from him previously, but the timing was not right if that happened. And it was yesterday that I watched part 7 of was it 32 or 24 part series on YouTube, each of them being about 20-25 minutes long. And then I went back and watched number 1 and number 2, learning about par-syntax grammar. And I'm looking at a page here, somebody sent me another video of him this morning. He's a plenipotentiary judge, whatever the heck that means. I have no clue. It's the next phase of my learning. But prior to even getting the stuff from about David-Wynn Miller, Heather Ann, I'm not even going to attempt the pronunciation of her last name. It's a hyphenated name with Tucci-Jarraf, and I don't know how to say that. But she's an attorney who has removed herself from the bar and has created UCC documents that basically, as I said in the blurb, foreclose on the corporations. And that includes the corporation known as the United States of America. That was established, I believe, in 1871. And Mr. Miller, he talks about how things were established maybe even earlier than that in Hawaii, and that the post office actually runs everything in our world. I can't comment a whole lot on that because it was the first exposure to it for me yesterday, but I'm going to be putting these links out for you to you don't have to wait for me to get it. You can start getting it yourself if you're so led in that direction. But I want you, and I want everyone to be aware that I don't care where you are. I don't care if you're part of the matrix and you're one of the attorneys or judges or bankers or politicians or whatever role you've been playing, or if you're just one of the people, you're one of the 99%. We're in the awakening, and nobody's going to stop it. Nobody's going to stop it. We're foreclosing. The people are foreclosing on the establishment. And the establishment's either going to get in line of equality with everybody else and stop thinking that they can sit in ivory towers and make rules that dominate everybody else. It's coming to an end, folks. It's coming to an end. And I want you to be encouraged by knowing that. Yeah, I know. We've heard it for a long time. We've heard it year in and year out. I mean, we've heard that the trust funds are going to be distributed to the people. We've heard that Nassar is going to be announced. We've heard that a disclosure of the connections with our ET brothers and sisters has been promised. I mean, I've been waiting for Nassar since 2001. That's, I think, the year that I first heard about it. Maybe 2000, but certainly at the beginning of the 21st century is when I first became aware of Nassar, and I've been waiting for it ever since. And so have lots of you. But there are so many indicators coming through that show that there is progress being made. No, it's not in the mainstream media. Don't look for verification of this stuff on the mainstream media, because the mainstream media is still controlled by the corporation. But the corporation structure is cracking. It's coming down. It's having all of its flaws revealed to enough people to shift the whole thing. And when it shifts, it's going to come down so fast, your head's going to spin. Although I do believe that they're purposefully trying to make it as gradual and uncovering and unfolding as possible, so as not to disrupt too much of our normalcy on the planet. They want to keep things as much as possible moving in a non-violent, not too earth-shattering a paradigm shift all at once. But it will be a huge shift of consciousness as these things finally get announced by our media, because they can't hide it anymore, because it becomes so obvious that they can no longer pull the covers up over their head and pretend it's not happening. It is happening, folks. It's happening all over, as people that are educated are educating themselves one step beyond the education in the matrix, the education of stupidity, the education of ignorance, the education of foolishness, that has limited humanity in our development and in our evolution. But this is all changing. It's all coming to an end. You think nothing happened in 2011 at the end of the ninth wave. You think nothing happened in 2012 on the winter solstice and all of the events leading up to that. But things have been happening. They've just not been happening in the mainstream media and that revelation part of it. They haven't been happening there because that's still been in control, but they've been happening. It's been eroding underneath, just like the many of the ice caps at the North Pole and the South Pole are melting from underneath as the Earth itself warms from inside. And so there's rivers of water flowing underneath the ice caps, flowing, not frozen, flowing with ice on top of it, because everything is heating up. The whole solar system is heating up. Yes, it's global warming. It's also solar system warming. Everything is changing. Everything is expanding. Everything is being uncovered that has been long covered up. They're finding pyramids that have long been hidden. They're finding other archaeological finds just in recent years that have been hidden for millennia. And all of a sudden they're finding these things in India and throughout Asia and the Middle East and in other parts of the world. They're finding things that reveal stuff that's been hidden from humanity for so long by the Vatican and by other powers that wanted to rule the world. And they almost succeeded. But that game plan of the divine, the game plan of the law of one all along, was to awaken God's children. And we're all God's children. Equally, we're all God's children. Beyond religion, beyond politics, beyond race, beyond nationality, beyond gender, beyond sexual orientation, beyond all of the things that have been used against us to divide us from ourselves and from each other. All of these things that have been made to divide are being foreclosed upon. We're calling them on their crap. We're calling ourselves on our crap, you might say. because it is us. We could not have been controlled if we were willing to step up and take responsibility for our lives, if we were willing to actually dig deeper and to learn more about who we were and about how things work in our world and in our universe. But so many of us have been too lazy and too apathetic and have sat back and waited for somebody else to do it. Well, the somebody else's have been doing it step by step, person by person, one individual at a time after another, men and women that have been willing to be way showers and to cut the ice and cut through all the BS that has been piled up on top of us by the would-be world controllers who thought they were trying to control the world so that they could be in charge. But really what they were doing is serving the higher good of the creator and of prime source. They were serving the higher good by making it so bad that it would force people to face their own shadow issues and to wake up from the slumber and sleep that we've been caught in the nightmare for so long. Oh, it's been an amazing thing to sit and watch some of these unfoldments take place as one revelation follows another revelation follows another revelation. Man, it's hard sometimes to contain myself, even as tired as I've been feeling lately. There's underneath all of that tiredness, underneath all of that weight of, oh, I wish it would happen. There's something bubbling. There's something bubbling in me. The fire of freedom, the flame of freedom is still burning brightly in me, and I know it's burning in other people. I met a young man yesterday, and he and I talked at length during the benefit concerts that my son put together for one of his friends to raise money so that she could stay in this country and not be deported back to the Czech Republic. And I had several conversations parsed out over a period of time in the afternoon and early evening as he talked with me about some of the issues that he's had, and I heard from him the same question I hear from many of you. Ron, it's so hard for me to look up and to see positive change. It looks so dark and it looks so unbearably oppressive that I don't even know what to do. I feel like I just want to stay at home and hide from it all. Oh, I hear you. I hear you. Sometimes I have the same feelings, but I have the blessing of being able to do these videos every day, which keeps me sort of on my toes. It keeps me on the cutting edge. It keeps me receiving things from all over the world that people send me. I don't have time to look at everything that people send me. I don't have time. But every once in a while, I'm sent something and they say, this is important. Just like this One People's Trust is important information. It's important that you understand that. If you care, it's important to do the homework and do the investigation and to read what's going on. Again, I'll put some links up on this and other things. Read what David-Wynn is saying. I mean, it's fantastic. He goes in and he disbars judges, federal judges. He even went into one of his stories was we went in when Rehnquist was the chief, the head judge of the Supreme Court. I forget what the top guy in the U.S. Supreme Court, and he went in there serving the judge papers notice, and the judge told the marshals, go ahead and leave him alone. He and I are going to have a conversation. But these are the people that know the inside stuff, and there's people in very, very, very smart people in very high places and with lots of credentials after their name. Unlike me, I don't have any credentials. I just am me, and you are just you. But there are people with great credentials, and they know what they're talking about. Learn from these people. I'm willing to learn from these people, and I encourage you to do the same. Folks, the cabal is coming down. It cannot and will not be maintained. You better know that, because it's coming. Be ready, because those that aren't paying attention, they're going to be pretty discombobulated when the news comes out that the United States of America the corporation thereof no longer has any viability. It really hasn't had any viability for a long time, but because we believed it did, it was still able to operate. But that awakening is happening. It's on top of us. And I encourage you to open your mind, open your heart, learn to trust your gut and follow your heart. Be led into the awakening that you need for you, so that you can share your life and your love and your light with others. And together we will enter into a place of laughter and great joy as the renaissance of renaissances breaks forth on earth, and we all see the beauty and celebrate with song. May God bless you. Thank you for listening. Namaste.